Come up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good boy. Good boy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Alonso, and today we're going to be destroying a tree net for science. Now, yes, this isn't a typical tree net that goes around trees. This is more so a trampoline net, but all of the components are the same. The static rope that we used for the perimeter of this net is the same static rope that we would use for the perimeter of a tree net, and the paracord that we use for the interior of this is the exact same paracord that we would use for the interior of a tree net. I get a lot of questions asking how safe tree nets are, and today I'm going to show you with this knife here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting strands of cord. We're going to start with interior cords like the paracord, and then we're going to bounce on it to show you that when you cut things, it actually doesn't really matter that much. And then for a grand finale, we're going to start actually cutting the perimeter rope, which is actually what holds all of your weight when you're on a typical tree net. So we've got a bunch of things here. We've got the camera right over there. We've got an action camera here so we can get some close-in shots of what happens when we actually cut the cord. Is it gonna explode? Is nothing gonna happen? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below what your guess is and whether or not you think it's safe to be on a tree net after things have been cut on it. And with all that being said, we're just doing this for a little bit of science and testing. That does mean that I have to say goodbye to this net because I'm going to literally destroy it right now. Let's jump right in. Let's first test the net without any cuts or abrasions on it, just so you can see just how tightly woven and how tightly tensioned this thing really is. So as you can see, it is pretty tight. It's tight enough to do flips on it. And now we're going to start cutting some things and we will continue playing on it. Let's start with cutting some of the paracord on it and see what happens. So before we start cutting anything, just the one really quick thing to note here. All of the black is kind of our like interior fill, and the yellow is like my framing. Like what I mean by that is you can see that I actually have like independent points. So every time this hitch is a thing on the yellow, it kind of makes it independent. So like this yellow strand is independent from this yellow strand because there's a hitch right here to independently hold tensions. So what that means is if I cut this yellow strand here, it's not gonna affect this yellow strand here because this isolates both of these strands. Now, the black fills each of the yellow blocks. So that's important to know when you're like actually weaving a tree net because this allows you to like weave it in a much safer way. So when I start cutting these blacks here, I can really only damage the net inside this yellow square here, if that makes sense. But we're gonna start cutting some of the black, and then once we've cut quite a bit of the black, we'll cut some of the yellow framing so I can show you what I mean. And then once we've cut some yellow framing, we'll actually hop on over to the perimeter and see what happens when we cut the perimeter. I promise the goal of this is it's supposed to be anticlimactic. Here we go. So let's cut this one. So you see, I've cut a whole strand, and really it didn't really mess with much of the weave. Like you can see that I can still like stand here. Yes, like I do have a bigger hole right here now where like my foot could potentially fall in through. But even if I keep like cutting, like let's now cut this one. Boom, again, like still have like a pretty good weave. You can see like an isolation point right here. This hitch did its job and this still has some tension. If we move over to another segment now and continue cutting some black, we'll see. We're just gonna like slowly lose tension around this net. So I've so far cut 2 black pieces of cord. I'm gonna cut 2 more, and then I'm gonna actually hop back up on this net so you can see how safe it still is. So 2 more cords, here we go. There's 1, and there's 2. Okay, so now we've cut a total of 4 pieces of cord. Let's hop on this thing really quick and just see how it feels. So this is where I cut, and there are some bigger gaps now, so I'll film it right here. So you can see the mesh is really nice and fine here. And then where I've been cutting, which is here and here, there are some pretty large holes in it. There's my foot for reference. And I could definitely put my foot through these, which is not good, but it's not inherently dangerous as far as the net failing. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's actually take it a step further and start to cut some of the framing rope, which is the yellow stuff on the inside. Now the framing rope isolates all of the black cord from itself, so as I explained earlier, that means that if I cut a piece of black cord inside this yellow box, nothing can go wrong with any of the rest of the net. But if I start to cut my frame, that's going to mess with multiple sectors on this net. So let's see what happens. Okay, cutting a piece of yellow frame. And again, so you can kind of see here, because all these are clove hitched, it actually really didn't do much. Even this guy still has tension right where I cut it, because the clove hitches are actually holding on to the recently severed piece of cord. Now, one of the downsides to this problem is that over time, as this net gets bounced up and down and all this stuff, these hitches will eventually slide through like that, and then you'll create bigger and bigger holes. So we'll do it again here. You see that? We just created a much bigger hole here because this whole thing came undone. So eventually, these clove hitches aren't going to hold on to the sliding rope. One thing that we could do, if we notice this on one of our nets, we could simply just tie these 2 pieces of cord back together by attaching a short piece of cord to this end and this end, and that'll just ensure that these can't slide off of it. But let's cut another piece of yellow cord. So this one here, this is a clove hitch right here. And so these 2 strands should be completely isolated. So if I cut this one, it shouldn't really affect this one. Let's see if that's true. And yep, just like I said, because we have a clove hitch here, this one still has full tension. I'll film that on my phone a little bit here so you can see what I mean. But this clove hitch right here completely isolated this strand and this strand, and you can see this one's still got a little bit of tension because these clove hitches are holding onto it, but this one still has full tension. So when I cut a different one like this one, you're going to notice that it's probably going to fail now. So, yep, just like we said there, we've got a much bigger hole now. But again, overall, it still looks pretty good, and I think it's still bounceable. We'll cut one more frame just closer to the middle just for fun, like this guy right here. But again, because there's a bunch of clove hitches and stuff, it all kind of holds it together still. So at this point in the video, I hope it's kind of obvious how safe tree nets are, at least when the paracord gets cut on the inside. Basically, if you've got a ton of clove hitches isolating everything from each other, you really don't have that much to worry about, because most of the cuts I've made have been in this little region here. All this is starting to get a little bit softer, but it's still not like bad enough to the point where I would say this is an unsafe net to get on. But what's going to happen when we cut the perimeter rope, which is kind of what holds like everything together? Technically, because we are going around an anchor point here, we do kind of have a lot of isolation here, because all of these clove hitches have to be able to slide through. For example, if we assume that these points are trees, because the rope does run around the trees all the way around, then let's say we cut it right here. All of these clove hitches would have to actually slide through this tree in order for it to fail. But I want to make this a little bit semi-realistic, and the area where you're probably going to see the most abrasion on a rope is right around where the tree is, because that's actually where it's coming to contact with things, and everywhere else, like over here, it's just kind of floating. So we're going to give it a cut right here, and we're going to see what happens. Obviously, it's going to fail around this tree and droop a little bit, but let's see exactly what that looks like. I'm going to stand back a little bit for this one. Boom, so there you go. You can see that it did fail from around this tree. So, a couple things to note here. I totally missed that video on my phone, but that's okay. That's why we have the action camera here. So a couple things to note here. Because this was around a tree, we're gonna assume this is a tree. If we had a tree net with like a 3-point anchor, and this was our longest side where it failed, we would have potentially some issues there, because now you're only on 2 points and everything else would just drop straight down. So your taut net would turn into kind of a drooping ladder, if that makes sense. And that is the point where it could be dangerous. However, it is also very important to note that that is the reason why we use 2 static ropes together, working independently from one another when we weave tree nets. We only have one here, but normally there are 2 of these running parallel to each other in order to add a layer of redundancy to that whole system, so that if something ever happened, it's pretty easy to quickly go in and replace just one of the ropes if ever needed. That is a thing that we can do. But as you can see, because a trampoline net has so many points of contact, we still kind of have some tension here. Now, if, like I said before, if we had only a 3-tree tree net, which is kind of the most common thing you see, is like a triangular kind of tree net, that could be kind of dangerous, because if 1 point fails, you're only strung between 2 points, and 2 points don't make any kind of plane. But again, as stated just now, we use 2 static ropes on the system just for that reason, because we care a lot about safety when we're weaving tree nets. Now, theoretically, if we were weaving our tree net around like more trees than 3 of them, that would technically make it safer, because if we had like a 5-point tree net and the rope failed around one of those trees, the other 4 trees could still make a plane. So long as it didn't fail while you were standing right next to that tree that failed, you would be okay. You would feel the loss in tension. It would droop down kind of like a saggy diaper, but you wouldn't fall off of it per se. And that's really all I have for this video. In conclusion, tree nets are very safe, especially if the only thing that is being abraded is the paracord on the inside of the net. If you're going to be making your own nets, please make sure that A, you use double static rope for your perimeter, and B, that when you run your rope around your trees or whatever you're anchoring them to, that there is no abrasion whatsoever. That's why we use Cordura sheathing and wood blocks. It doesn't only protect the trees, it also protects the rope. And it's definitely important to protect both. You want to protect the tree so that it can grow and live a healthy life, and you want to protect your rope so that your net doesn't fail and you don't fall off of the thing. And that's all I have. If you found this video useful or informative, or you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe and like this video down below. I'm trying to post more content more frequently moving forward in 2025. I've only been posting once a month because of my lack of free time, availability, and creative freedom, but that's about to change real soon. And just for fun, as bonus content, let's cut another piece of the static rope on the other side of this net where it still has some high tension. But for everyone else, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.